In this video, we are going to continue with revision exercise 12.12, probability and statistics. And we are going to focus mostly just on statistics. In part 1, I did probability. You will find this on page 702 in the Namibia Ordinary Level Mathematics textbook, y equals mx+c to success. Now, I'm first going to start reading, and then as soon as I read and I see an important word, I'm going to stop, and I'm first going to take you back to the theory. So, the cumulative frequency, stop there. And now I'm first going to take you back. Here, cumulative, do you see? Then I just run quickly through this. It's not so difficult. Okay, here it starts. Can I just say, if you look, I think the basic statistics, where did I write it? Just want to see, if you want to just revise the basic statistics, it's from page 655 onwards. Okay, so basic statistics, basic stats, page, and I said 655 onwards. Okay, but let's look at cumulative. Cumulative is the sum of all the previous frequencies. Okay, up to a certain value. Cumulative means how much so far. So they will give you a table with all the different values. Okay, let's see. Do you see there? And then they ask you to construct. Now, always do it like that. I think it's always good to first start. Now, it's a must. Start, and I'm just going to make it bigger. Start with the first one, and that's 90. And from there on, you just take the end values. Do you see there? But just to have a starting point, you are doing the beginning. And in the beginning, it was, so if it will, I will check now for you. Okay, then you take that values. So let's look here. If I say, if it's smaller than equal, I think if I make that starting point, I'm just going to make it 0. So I see I didn't do it here, but I know it's in the practical. I need it some. So if I say smaller than equal and I'm 90, then start with 0. Then it's easy to draw the graph. And then up to 99 is just 1. Up to 109, it's that 1 plus 2. And then up to 119, it's 1 plus 2 plus 3. Do you see? And so you move on. But basically what you can do up to 129, if you already have this one, 6, you can then just go and add the 5 and you get 11. And then up to 139, you just go and you add the 8 and you get 19. And so you move on. So cumulative is what is the frequency up to a certain point. That's actually very good. Okay, this is all I want you to know first. You can look at the rest of the example. Okay, I want to focus on cumulative frequency curves, how to draw it. Now, it's very important that you first create a cumulative frequency table. Okay, so as I said, and here I did it better, I do it with the start. I start with the start, and then I just take the end values. Do you see? So it's smaller than equal to 30, and then it's 0. So it's just to start with 0, and then I take the end values. Smaller than equal 32, it's just at 5. And then you can even leave it on your calculator and just say plus 16, and then you're going to get 21. And then plus 21, you get 42, and you write 36. So Plus the 18, you get 60 and you write the 38. Plus the 12, you get 72 and you write the 40. And plus the 8, you get 80 and you write the 42. Okay, so basically you must at the end at the total frequency if they give it to you. Oh, there they gave it to you. Usually they give it in the question. And now, if you're just going to plot it, okay, I have now, because it starts at 30 and I want to work with a scale, not leave a big open space, I usually just make this sign to show, okay, there was values in front, but I start here. So every 2, I'm going to make 5, every 2 centimeters, 5 units, and that's how I do it. And then I do this, and then basically, I'm just plotting that point. So my first point is going to be 30, 0. You see? And my next point is going to be 32, 5. So where is it? 32 and 5. And my next point is going to be 34 and 21. You see? 34 and 21. And I basically just plot all the points. And then I do not take a ruler. It's a curve. I just make that curve. And it's usually like it's a S, but it's almost like it's stretched out a little bit. And that's how you do the cumulative. And then they can ask you questions, like come now to the questions on cumulative. So estimate the percentage of nails which are longer than 39. So then I will just go, where is 39? Do you see? Here I indicate. Read it down, but be careful. They don't say shorter, they say longer. They're referring to this. So I will just say 80 minus that 66. Okay, and that will be the amount. First the amount, but look, they're asking percentage. So take that amount and put it over the total, multiply with 100%, and you get your percentage. Okay, then the next one, the questions on it. Okay, before I go to the questions, I just have to run through this. So this is the median, this is the quartiles and the percentiles. And actually it's saying everything. The median says it's the middle, so that's Q2, okay. Then the quartiles say it's with a quarter. Now, can I just show, if you have a value, I think I first want to start with a line. If you have a line, and you are dividing that line into quarters, okay, I think I will first find the middle, and then I find the middle and the middle. It's just an estimate. Okay, now that middle will be my median. That will be quartile 2. Can you see it's 1, 2 quarters? And then this one will be the first quarter, and that's quartile 1. And that will be the third quarter, and that they call quartile 3. Do you see? So that is coming from there. So don't forget, this is a quarter. This is actually 2/4, but it's actually half. And then this is up to, now I prefer to write it up to there. I didn't write it nice. This is I want my color again. This is a quarter. This is 2 quarters. And this is 3 quarters, which this can also then be representing the half. So keep it in mind. And now, if I'm in the interquartile range, that will be this part. So the interquartile range, let's just write interquartile range, and that will be quartile 3 minus quartile 1. Okay. Remember that. And I think I'm just going to do it. Then percentiles, it's a percentage of. So if I say 20 percentile, it's 20 over 100 times the total frequency. Let's just go to the next. And now I will just show you the graphs. And then I'll do the one in the example. Okay. Now, just percentiles are values divided a set of data into 100 equal parts. So it's just, say 80 percentile will be 80 out of 100 times the total frequency. Okay, now in this case, this is in terms of a graph. Now, remember, you must first construct your cumulative, frequency, table. So the first one, and then last, and start adding up. Okay, and then you're going to plot your points. Okay, that's what I did. I plot my points. And now I start with the question. Use your graph to find the median. That's the middle. So that's quartile 2, or a half. So it's a half times, okay, I'm going to write it here. First I'm going to find the half times the total frequency. And that is going to be a half times, and what is the total frequency? 200. But that's not the median. That's just the place where you are going to read it from. So if you go, now I just must move up a little bit. Okay, there it is. So now I'm just going to take my ruler, and there it's going to be, it's going to give me that 100. So this is the 100. And where it cuts, I go down. And then I read it down, and that's 440. That is my median. And then the upper and the lower. So basically, I'm asking you for a quarter. Let's just put it nice. My pen is not nice. It's a quarter of the total frequency, which is just 50. But that's just the place where you read it down. So I'm just going to say, okay, this is 50, and where will my 50 be? Okay, this is now, I just want to see. There's the 75, there's the 50, there's the 80, and I think 50 will be, and it's 200. And I'm reading it down. I'm just quickly checking if it's on my graph. Yes, it is here. Okay, so this is a quarter. So I'm just drawing it, that's 50, and then I draw down. Let's take a ruler. And if I draw down, it will give me, and I'll just see the lower one. This is Q3, 200. Can you see? Now it's almost, can you see there is the 200. And then the next one is quartile 3, so that's going to be 3/4. But that's just the place where I read it down. So 3/4 of 200. And that is going to give me, there I did it, 150. So now I will go to 150, here it is. Then I want to take my ruler. And then I go down. And I read it down. And I get this. Okay. And then the interquartile range. Now, sometimes they just ask you the upper and then the inter. Then you must first go and work out the lower. I didn't mention it. But this one, Q1, I think maybe I mentioned it here. Q1, I must take red. They call it also the lower quartile. Lower quartile, and Q3 they call it the upper quartile. Okay, just remember that. So sometimes they just give the lower or the upper, but they ask the inter. Then first work out the upper and lower, and then if you have that, you basically just say Q3 minus Q1, and that will be the value of the interquartile range. Okay, that's enough. You can still look at examples, but that's enough that I can take you back. And I think I'm just going to use my graph paper here. Okay, I will just follow in my textbook, and you can follow in your textbook, because I think I'm going to now I have to work between 2 pages, which makes it sometimes a bit more challenging. Okay, but let's start. Using a scale of 2 to represent 10 on the horizontal y, okay, now first view, the cumulative shows the district heights, and that's 200 students, that's also the total. And there they just give you the frequency table. But now, and actually they were nice, look how nice they were. Can you see? They gave you the cumulative frequency. Maybe I will just take you back quickly to one example after I did this one. So this was very nice. Okay, otherwise you have to work it out first. So I can basically just go, don't forget that you're going to your values. I'm just going to go to my last values. That's my points, this and this. And I'm just going to plot it, all of them. Okay, so I just want to look at my scale. So it was 2 to 10 on the horizontal and 220 on the vertical. Okay, so I have to go to my graph paper. I just want to see if I can do it. I have a method. If I can cut and paste it. Otherwise, I'm really going to struggle working between two places. Let's see if it's working. Documents. And then I'm just going to do. Oh, excellent. Now my graph paper is here. That will be better. Okay, I think I'm just going to move it a little bit around, but that's fine. I can work with that. That's better. Otherwise, I'm going to struggle. Okay, so I'm going to start plotting my points, and I just have to move it up, or maybe it like make it a little bit smaller. Then I can move it up so that I see my whole graph paper. I want to just get this paper away. I will not have this there. Okay, maybe I was cutting it also. Oh, I know why. And I don't like it there. So I have to delete it. I have to go back. I'll tell you why. Because it was taking a picture. And then I should have first moved this before I take the picture. And just even move this. Okay, there it's better. And can I show you how I take the picture? Just for the intro. I press Alt and then the window key and S. See? Now, I press the window key, Shift and S. Okay, and that's the way I'm going to now quickly take a picture. And then, after I did that, I go back to my documents. And I go back there. I move it here, back. And then I'm going to paste it. Control V. Okay. I can move this up. And I can move this up. Okay. Now it's better. Now I can work with it. Okay, I'm going to plot that points, but let's first the scale. Now, this scale will always be positive, so you can draw your lines here in the corner. So I'm just going to start here. I take my ruler. What will I take? Take blue. Doesn't matter. And I'm just going to draw my line here. Okay. And then I'm just going to number it. So it's 2 to represent 10. Now it starts at 130, and this is why I prefer that you do it like this. So you're going to make, it's actually better, oh, I don't like this big, make it a bit smaller. It's better if you just, and I keep to my blue, if you already do this, this, this here. Okay, because your scale will now be this 0. And then every 2 centimeters is 10. So then I can start there 130. And I'm making just bit bigger, otherwise I don't see my lines very good. Okay, and I think sometimes it's better for me to first indicate my 2, my 2, my 2, my 2, my 2, my 2, my 2. And then this will be 140, this will be 150, this will be 160, this will be 170, this will be 180, and this will be 190. Okay, and that's my heights. Okay, and then this one, they are saying every 2 centimeter represent, can I just check again, then come back, 20, it starts at 0. So every 2 centimeter, and I prefer again to first mark it. Okay. And this 0, and this is, oh, let me just go back, and this is 20, and this is 40, and this is 60, and this is 80, and this is 100, and this is 120, and this is 140, and this, let's go back, this is 160, then 180, and then 200. Okay. Okay, and now my scale says, and now I'm going to plot my points. So let's just go back, and I plot my points. I want to make it a little bit smaller. I must still move up a little bit. Or I just have to get smaller. Okay, it's working now. I hope I can see it now. And I prefer red, then you can see better. So it's going to be 0 and 130. So this is the first one. Okay. And then it's going to be, and I think what I'm going to do, I make it bigger, and I just read from my book, textbook. Okay, but if the first one is done, it's also good. Oh, I need to see that bottom scale also. Okay, so I'm reading it from my textbook. And then it's going to be 140 and 10. and 10. And then it's going to be 150 and 50. And then it's going to be 160 and 95. And then it's going to be 165. Wow, is it so close? Yes, it's 165. So this is going to be 165 and 115. I go up and it's 115. Okay, so there's 110. So, and there's 20, so the 15 will be there. And then it's going to be 170 and 145. 170, there it is, and 145. Now that's 50, so in the middle there is 145. Okay, and then 180, and I have to move a little bit down. I think it must be smaller, otherwise I don't see the scale. So it's 180 and 180. So there is my 180 and there is my 180. Okay, and then it's going to be 190 and 2. It's the finals. Just make sure your scales. Use a ruler if necessary. That's my last one. Okay, and now I'm just going to quickly draw my curve. So if I draw my curve, and I think I'm going to use rather green. Remember, it's like an outstretch. Don't use a ruler. So, it's going to be challenging for me again. I think I want to rather try it from the top. Doesn't matter. Okay, so it can be better, especially if you do it on graph paper. But for now, I think it's all right. And now I'm just going back to the question. Okay, and I'm saying, use your graph to find the median. Now, first, this is now number B. If I must find the median, the first one, then it's a half. It's in the middle of the total frequency. And what is it? 200. But that's just the position. So I'm going to read it at 100. So I'm basically going to go to 100. Yes, this is 100. Make a ruler. I want red. I go to 100. And where it cuts there, I just draw it down. Okay, and I'm reading it down there. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger that I can see. Okay, according to me, what is that? It was 162. I think it's correct. Because in my teacher's guides, it's saying 162. And I think that's excellent. So my drawing is not so bad. So therefore, now I write it like this. Therefore, Q2 is 2 equals 162. Okay. And then I go to the next one, the upper quartile. And now it's going to be 3/4 of 200. And that is just going to say 150. That's just the position. Remember, position. So now I will again I'll go to 150. It's here. I need a ruler. Now you use a ruler. And where it cuts there, I just go straight down. Okay. And according to me, and I can just check here, it's like, mine is now 172, but I think it could have moved a little bit to this side. But let's write mine. So therefore, you can be a little bit out. Therefore, and that was the upper quartile. Q3 equals 172. Okay. And now they are going to ask me, and this is what I said to you in the previous, sometimes they don't ask you Q1, but they just ask you the interquartile range. But before you can do that, you first have to find Q1. So for that third one, I'm first going to say 1/4 of 200. And what will that be? The position is 50. So therefore, okay, again, where's 50? Can you see where's 50? I see it here. It cuts, I go down. Oh, it looks like on the dot 150. Okay. Is it on the dot? Mine is on the dot. So therefore, I see the text in the teacher's guide, I write 151. But it depends on your graph. So Q1 is equal to 150. So therefore, the interquartile range is equal to Q3 minus Q1, so it's 172 minus 150. And my answer on this one, it's not so accurate. I think that drawing from me is going to be 22 centimeters. I see when I did it on graph paper, it was 20 centimeters. Okay, doesn't matter. Usually they give a little bit of a range there. And then I go back to the question. And I'm now at C. I'm just going to clean this just to have space for that C. I think what I'm going to do is then I'm going to make this video again 2 parts, the statistics, again that it don't take so long to load. Okay, so after this one, I'm first going to finish and do this final one. Oh, no, it's the final one. I have to finish it now because you have to, this is part of D and it's going to show you the histogram. I have to show that quickly to you. But I think it's still all right. I can stop the video and then just do the D part in the next video. Okay. I think I'm going to just do number C still in this video. Well, and this is now combining with probability. So I like doing that. One of the 200 students is chosen at random. Use the table to find the probability, and they say the table, not the graph, to find the probability that the height of this student is greater than 170. Now, I first have to see where is 170 on the table. Okay, greater. So that greater will only represent this. Okay. Just let me take another color. Okay, so this greater, I just want to see, greater than 170. That is up to 170. So it will represent this last part. You see, it's actually, I would say it represents from there. So it's the 200 minus the 145. Are you with me? Because there was 170 and there is the total. So it's 200 minus 145. Let's just move it. And that's going to be 200 minus 145. And that's 55 students, but that's not the answer. Let's just see what was the question again. Okay, give your answer. Okay, you have to find the probability. So it will be this probability. Probability cannot be bigger than 1. So the probability will be equal to that 55 over the total. And I can simplify this, the final answer, to 11/40. Okay, so that's how you do it. And then the next one, let's check the next one. One of the students is chosen at random, and then a second student is chosen at random from the remaining. Oh, this is nice because this is dependent. Okay, because one is out and then there's only 199 left. Calculate the probability that one has a height greater than 170 and the other has a height of 140 or less. Okay, so if I'm looking at this one, what is the one? Okay, it was the 55. I'm having that probability, but I must first just quickly get the probability. Other has a height 140 or less. What will be the 140 or less? Where is 140? Oh, there it is. Do you see? So less will be this, and if I look here, it's only 10. Do you see that? So the probability of that, now I just want to write here 10. And the reason why, because this is dependent. One is leaving. So if you want to find both, it's going to, you can make a tree, but it's not necessary now. I'm just going to do it like this. the probability of this one greater than 1, so it's you can say, but let's keep it to 200. It's 55 over 200. And then I multiply, it's almost like it's in a branch. And then it was that 10, remember, but now I said there's not 200 students, it's just 199. Okay, and then I just move it, and I'm just going to calculate it on my calculator, and my final answer will be 11 over 796. I just want to check it quickly. So it's 55 ABC 200 multiply 10 ABC 199, and it's going to be 11 over 796. Okay, so they like to combine probability with statistics, especially in this kind of graphs. I'm going to stop the video here, and then I will do the D part, the final part, in the third video.